quality settings I have already gone through. So the final slide, and I've got 8 minutes left. Final slide is compiling and deploying. So to do that, you simply go to File and Build Settings. If you go Build and Run, it will just start building and running your application. So you want to go to some settings first, unless you're confident that all the settings are correct. And the first thing you see is the scenes to build. So this project, remember a project can have lots and lots of scenes in it. And so far I've opened a couple of the scenes. But that's not to say that those scenes are automatically added to your list of scenes to build. So at the moment I've got this vrdemo_Tuscany, and I've got the Rift plus Razor scene. But neither of those are the scene that I'm currently in, which is called 6 Sense Hands up here. So if I want to build the current scene, I go Add Current. It'll then come up here, and then I can uncheck any scenes that I don't want to build. Transitioning between scenes. So for instance, if you have one scene for your main menu, and one for your first game level, and then one for your second game level, transitioning between scenes is done using scripting. So it's I think it's application.load level or .load scene, and you can just that event will start the given scene loading. So this is the scenes and build. So I'm currently building this scene. I have it for this current platform, which is PC, Mac, and Linux standalone. So this will build to Windows, of course, because I'm using a Windows machine. If I wanted to build it to Android, obviously I cannot build it to iOS because I don't have a Mac. I would click on whichever platform I want to build it to and just simply click Switch Platform. That will take about 5 minutes, or maybe more, depending on the assets that you have, because it will need to convert, possibly re-import assets to be compatible with that particular platform, things like textures and meshes and things like that. It may need to re-import things. So make sure you have a little bit of time if you want to switch platform. I'm not going to press switch platform. You can even export to Flash Player, not that anyone uses Flash anymore. This is quite nice if you want to deploy some sort of experimental interface quickly. Okay, you have to assume that everyone uses Chrome. But so Google Chrome now has a native Unity player, so there's no separate installation required, which you do need in iOS, Internet Explorer and Firefox, if you're using those, or Mozilla, or whatever it's called, Safari. So we've got this platform specified.
Right. So
yep.
All these platforms are in the free.
All of these. So the Flash Player. So in the free version, you have the web player, the PC, Mac, and Linux standalone, the Android. I don't know about the Flash and Google, but I guess Google is definitely free. Flash, I'm not sure, but
says preview.
yeah, I'm not sure if they'll ever get out of preview because I don't know anyone who would ever want to do that. But iOS.
It's not there.
This is also an old version again.
Oh, okay.
So with the free version, you'll be able to deploy to all of these platforms, bar Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii, I think. You have to contact sales if you want to do that. Okay, so you can specify whether it's which architecture you want to build to, whether it's a development build. I think development builds allow verbose logging, I think. I'm not exactly sure what the development build exactly does. You can connect the profiler.
No, it creates a log file.
Creates a log file, yeah.
Messages, and it's also an option you need to activate when you want to debug.
Okay, so look, here we have script debugging. I've never used that personally, so this could be real-time debugging. Okay, so let's just press build. It will say where I want to build it to. Let's just build it to the desktop, because why not? And just call that test.
While it's going, it's interesting. It would build code that you've written for C#. It's going to try
So I've tested various build platforms, and in general you don't need to change anything. If you are changing, if you are using, the only exception is if you're using native code plugins. So for instance, this device uses a Windows DLL, Windows library. So obviously you would need that DLL in your in a Mac or Linux form in order to even build that on that device. So you need access to the third-party source code, which often isn't available. So that's the only kind of stumbling block. The other thing is if you're using, so the various classes within Unity which are specific to, let me just think. No, I don't think so. So I was going to say there are specific classes in Unity specific to iOS, but I don't think that's true. So I think that in general, it's very unlikely that you need to make any changes between platforms.
Great.
Yeah.
The whole mono project is running .NET on different platforms.
Yeah.
That's why it's bundled with.
So you're not surprised by this?
I was surprised myself.
All right, so we've got this project. Let's just go to the desktop where I put it. This is an AR marker, by the way, if anyone's interested in my bad taste backgrounds. This is what we come out with. This is the executable file, and this is the data directory. This is where all the stuff is, basically. Let's go back to the desktop again. If I just run this, it'll pop up with it'll pop up with this quite naff looking dialog box. You can disable this. You can change the resolution, whether it's windowed, and then the profiles, the quality settings. You can change the input, like the default movement keys and things like this, and just press play. And this probably won't do anything, okay, because this isn't working for some reason. But that's our application that you can distribute. Note that Unity doesn't by default use the escape key, so you have to build that into one of your scripts. So you just have if input.keyboard equals escape or something like that, then application.close. All right. One thing that I will mention about the different platforms is that if I were to set this to Android, in fact, let me just do something very quickly here. So this is a new project which shouldn't have anything in, so therefore shouldn't take very long to convert to an Android application. All right. So if I were to go to the build settings and then say Android and switch platform, it'll now start re-importing all of my assets, and that'll be suitable for the Android platform. Hopefully this won't take very long. I believe this is my last slide. Yep. Okay, so that's done. So now what will happen now, so we've now got Android, and it allows you to create an Eclipse project if you want to do that. The same with, if I was using iOS, it would allow you to create an Xcode project. The platform influences the player settings. So each platform has a per player settings properties, which are here. And so for Android and iOS applications that you wish to, well, any, but particularly ones that you wish to deploy to the App Store or the Google Play Store, you must correctly fill this out, because this is the kind of metadata that's within the files, the company name, the product name, and things like this. So it's just com.will.firstproject, for instance, and then your bundle versions and things like this, and specify which is the latest or earliest version of Android that you would like it to run on, whether it's OpenGL 2 or 1, etc. Yeah, that's it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover, really. Hope it's been of use. I'll package some of the projects I use together and put them on Dropbox somewhere so everyone can download them if they want. But I'll be staying around for a while if people want to talk to me. That's all.
Thank you for organizing this.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
Sure, yeah.